Welcome back, mathematicians. So today we're going to be doing a dot talk, and the dot images that I chose today might make you think that we're back in a kindergarten class because it's a very simple dot talk. But still, what I've been seeing in your homework and what I've been hearing from your parents is that there's still a lot of confusion as to why we're doing multiplication, and that the number sentences that you're writing are still a little bit tricky, that you need a lot of help from your families to help you write them. So I thought that it would be beneficial for us to do a dot talk that is very simple. I know it will be simple. You will even say, Miss Juarez, I am in first grade, give me something harder. But when we're learning something new, especially when we're trying to understand something, it's a lot easier to understand it when we are using an example that's easy. So today in our dot talk, we're going to be learning why it is that we use this symbol when writing number sentences for multiplication, and why, for example, it's a shorthand way to write why it's a shorthand way to write this and this, why it is that these two are the exact same thing. Okay, so let's see. Let's get ready. So the first group of dots that I'm going to show you, I'm only going to show you for a split second, and then I'm going to cover it back up. And as you see it, think, don't shout out. How many do you see and how do you see it? Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's going to be very quick. Again, think to yourself, don't shout it out. How many do you see and how do you see it? Okay. We're going to look at it again for a little bit longer. Double check your thinking, mathematicians. Okay, so maybe turn and talk and tell someone close by, someone in your family, how many you saw. Ask them how many they saw too. And if they didn't see it right now, tell them to come over and see if they saw the exact same number that you did. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Do they agree? How many dots are there, mathematicians? That's right, 5. Now I want to know, how did you see it? I'm guessing a lot of you might say that you just saw the number 5. Some of you might even say, Miss Juarez, I saw 5, and I saw it because I saw first a group of 2, then a 1, then another group of 2. I saw it that way too, the first time. Then the second time, I saw it in a different way. I'm thinking some of you might even say, Miss Juarez, I actually saw a group of 3, and then a group of 2. Some of you might even say you saw your 5 because you saw a group of 3 and then a 1 and then a 1. Huh. Did you see it the same way? Did you see it another way? Don't forget to tell someone close to you how it is that you saw it. Okay, are you ready to look at the next one? Again, it's going to be very quick the first time. And then on the second go around, when we look at the dots again, it's going to be a little longer. Don't forget, don't shout out, just think in your head, how many do you see and how do you see it? Ready? Again, hold that number in your head, because right now we're going to look at it a little bit longer. Don't forget, if you have someone close by working with you as you're doing this, double check each other's thinking. Ask each other at the end, how many did you see and how did you see it? Ready? It's going to be a little bit longer now. Okay. Don't forget, turn and talk. Tell someone close to you, how many did you see and how did you see it? Are you ready to confirm your thinking? Okay. Let's try it. How many did we see, mathematicians? How many was it? That's right, 10. There were 10 dots in all. Now, I'm wondering how many of you saw 10 right off the bat. You just said, Miss Juarez, without doing any number sentences, without putting any numbers together, you just saw 10. Probably not a lot of you. I'm thinking a lot of you actually saw 2 groups of 5. A lot of you saw 10 because you saw 5 and 5. Can you give someone next to you a thumbs up if you saw 5 and 5? Did anyone maybe remember how many were in a group just because they saw what they had done in their previous dot talk? Right up here, where you saw 5 and then you say, wait, that looks very familiar, that's a 5. And so you didn't really have to do a lot of thinking because you remembered how many were in that pattern. If you did, then that's great because you are noticing patterns, and that's amazing for us to do that in math. Some of you might even say, you know what, Ms. Juarez, the second time I looked at it, I saw this, but then the third time I tried to challenge myself and try to think of what is another way that I could see it. Maybe some creative ways that you saw it might actually be 2, another group of 2, another group of 2 right here, another group of 2, and another group of 2. Some of you might say, wait, Ms. Juarez, I saw it a different way. I can be even more creative. I actually saw a group of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, another group of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a group of 2. There are so many ways that you probably could have seen it. Similar to what we saw up here, you might even say, wait, Ms. Juarez, I saw 2 groups of 3, 3 and 3, and then 2 groups of 2, 2, and then 2. That's amazing if you saw it that way, mathematicians. Okay, are you ready for our last one? Can some of you make an inference, maybe a prediction as to what might be the last set of dots? What might be the total in the last set? Do you think you know? Are you ready? Remember, it's going to be very quick the first time, and then it's going to be a little bit longer the second time. 3, 2, 1. Remember, how many do you see and how do you see it? How many did you see? How did you see it? You think you have a number in your head? Are you ready to double check? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, don't forget to turn and talk and tell someone next to you. Don't forget, ask them the same questions. How many did you see and how did you see it? Okay, are you ready to confirm each other's thinking? Maybe come to an agreement as to how many there were? It's going to be a little longer. Okay, ready? How many did you see, mathematicians? What was it? 15. And I'm guessing a lot of you were like, wait, Miss Juarez, we know that 2 groups of 5 is 10. So then if we add one more group of 5, maybe you counted on with your fingers over here. And you did something like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to add that group of 5 to the 10. And that's how you got 15? Very clever. That's exactly what mathematicians use. They use patterns from work they've done before to do new math, to be creative in their math. Amazing work, mathematicians. But let's think, what are some other ways that we could have written our total? I'm thinking maybe some of you saw 15 by seeing 3 groups of 5. 5, another 5, and then another group of 5. Can you count those 5s with me? Let's make sure there's 3 groups of 5. 1, 2, 3. So do you see that, mathematicians? There's 3 groups of 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 groups of 5. Let's keep going though. Let's think, what are some other ways that we could have written this number sentence? Similar to over here, maybe you saw something like this, where you saw maybe 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I actually wrote the number 3, but let's see if I can make a number sentence to match what I just wrote. So I'm going to try and maybe scratch it off. So 1, 2, 3. This could be my 3. Maybe plus 3. There we go. Oh, do you see that? I saw a new way to write that number sentence. It's similar to what I had up here with 10 equals 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, except I'm writing it in a different way. Remember, when you're doing math, you can be as creative as you want. And maybe to that, you could add another 5. So, as we saw, mathematicians, the way that we did this dot talk today is by using the first one that we did over and over and over. Now, when you take one number and add it together many times, think about what I just said. When you take a number and add it together many times, you are actually doing multiplication. And I'm going to be very specific when I say that, because it has to be very specific. When you take the same number and add it together many times, or you put it together, you are doing multiplication. That is why when we are doing number sentences, this is called times. This is why multiplication is sometimes called times, because you're taking a number and adding that same number together many times. And a lot of mathematicians, when they see this symbol, they refer to it as times when they read it. So for example, right here, I'm not adding this group of number again. So if I were to write a number sentence with this symbol, I only have one group of 5s. So I would have 5 times 1, because I only have one group of 5. Over here, how many groups of 5 do I have? 1, 2. I have 2 groups of 5, so 5 times 2, because I'm adding the 2 groups of 5 together 2 times. Down here, how many groups of 5 do I have? 1, 2, 3. I'm adding that group of 5 together, or these groups of 5 together 3 times. So again, mathematicians, we're not using this symbol, the times, when we're adding numbers that are not the same. When we are using this symbol, the time symbol, it's only because we're adding the same number again and again. If you look at the example I showed you at the beginning, this would be 3 plus 3 plus 3. We're adding that 3 together, that same number together, how many times? 1, 2, 3. So then that's why we were able to use this form of writing the same number sentence in a different way with the times, because it's the same number again and again. It might not look like it, or it might be a little bit confusing because the number that you're using in your number sentence is not the same number as the first. But when you're thinking about it, you have to think about that first number and how many times you're adding it together again and again. How many times you're putting it together again and again. And the first one, we only had one group of 5, so it would be times 1. And the second one, we put 2 groups of 5 together, so we added the 5 and the 5 twice. So it would be 5 times 2. And then the last one, just to reiterate, to keep repeating, to hopefully help it sink in, we were able to write 5 times 3 because we were adding it together 3 times. Just like in this number sentence, see? 15 is the same as 5 plus 5 plus 5. 15 is the same as 5 times 3. It represents the same thing. It means the same thing as 5 plus 5 right here, or it means the same thing as 5 right here, or this one, it means the same thing as 5 plus 5 plus 5. I know this dot talk was probably really simple and you're like, Miss Juarez, that was for kindergartners, but the understanding that comes from writing the work we did is a little bit more complicated. So we needed something to help warm up our thinking and come to a new understanding about something. So hopefully that helped clarify why it is that we are able to use this symbol when we're doing multiplication number sentences. And again, the key thing to remember is that you use it when you see that you're adding the same number again and again, multiple times. Okay, mathematicians, that's all I have for you today. I can't wait to teach you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.